speaking of buying or selling a home, 2015 might be the year. Why? Less stringent mortgage requirements, housing inventory, and still very low interest rates. All good reasons to maybe give it some thought.
Depending on exactly where you live, now might be a great time to sell your current home or buy a new one.
Mortgages are getting easier to get. You know, anyone who's tried to get a mortgage or refinance the past couple of years has had to provide reams and reams of paperwork. It's easing up a little bit. So yes, they still want qualified borrowers, but it's not as stringent as it has been recently.
And there are new low down payment plans available, some requiring only 3 to 3.5% down instead of the traditional 10 or 20%. Combine that with interest rates that remain low, and it might be a good time to pull the trigger.
Interest rates should stay low until about the third, fourth quarter of 2015. They'll still be low then. They just may be a little bit higher than they are right now.
And home prices are expected to stay steady through 2015.
Low interest rates, low down payment, affordable houses, and mortgages that are a little bit easier to get, those all mean this could be the year you could buy that house or maybe refinance your current loan.
And speaking of money and investments, 8 on Your Side has answers when it comes to personal finances. And joining me now is John Wax from Waller & Wax Advisors and Raymond James. And we've been talking for the last few weeks, John, about how you have to think about your investment portfolio this year and different things. So how are you feeling about stocks and bonds at this point?
Well, I'm feeling more optimistic about stocks than bonds. It's just turning out to be a very strange year altogether with them.
Why is that?
Well, the stock market, we've had a run going for probably 6 years now, and people are a little skittish. They haven't really committed to it. And one of the things to watch out for this year is this idea of if the market is not on some kind of a big run, maybe I shouldn't participate in it. Fact is, these are the kinds of opportunities when it's time to buy at these lower prices, if you will, and then ride them up, not wait for when everyone's euphoric and they've jumped in.
And how about bonds?
Bonds are, they're a little scary because we always look at bonds as a place for safety. And as you learn more about bonds in the bond market, you realize there are safer bonds, but then there are riskier ones. And with yields as low as they are now, and people looking for yield, they would have to go further out on the risk spectrum to get that yield. And this is the wrong time to do something like that. So even though we want to have bonds in the portfolio, we have to stay safety conscious and avoid chasing yield.
Because you never want to be all stocks or all bonds.
Exactly. You never want to be all stocks or all bonds.
And why is that? You need a healthy mix and probably need some advice on that because the average guy doesn't know for sure.
I mean, investing and human emotions tend to work against each other. When something feels good to buy, it's probably when it's too expensive. And if you were all bonds, you're making a guess that stocks are not going to do well. Well, no one really knows what's going to happen. So that's why you need to blend these things in your portfolio.
Can't time the market, right?
You can't time it and let it ride and make adjustments, but don't worry about trying to time in and out or be all one place or all the other.
Okay,
Yeah.
good advice. We always
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank
My
you, John.
pleasure.